When was the last time you had a deep conversation about dating, finding a job, reaching our goals, and all the other intricate areas that make up our 20s? Every episode, I talk about these topics with real young adults who are living and learning along with the rest of us. If you want to hear how your peers are dealing with and conquering these areas of life, tune in. This is Building the Blueprint. Brayden Ganir,
Yes.
welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm
Dude,
excited.
where are we right now?
We're in Autzen Stadium, man. Home of the Ducks.
Autzen fucking Stadium.
Autzen Stadium.
How are we here?
I have the privilege of working for the University of Oregon football team. And just doing that gives me access to places like Autzen, the facility, get to show my friends and family around. And I thought, what's a better place to do a podcast than right in the stadium, huh?
I don't think there's any better places. So we know you work for the football team.
Okay.
Tell us a little more about you. In 2 minutes or less, tell us everything we should know about Brayden and how he became the man he is today.
Well, my name is Brayden Ganir. I'm a junior at the University of Oregon. I'm majoring in sports business. I'm from a little island in the Pacific Ocean, big island of Hawaii. I'm the oldest sibling of two little brothers, two little spoiled brats, I would say, but they would probably won't agree. I grew up playing a lot of sports, football, basketball, baseball. I probably like basketball the most. And cooking. I love to cook. That's probably one of my favorite things to do, honestly, is cooking. And yeah, I love to fish. I love to dive. I love to be outside. Probably not in Eugene, but in Hawaii, I love the water. So yeah.
Dude, welcome to the show. We're in the same fraternity. We've known
Yep.
each other since freshman year.
Yep.
We live right next to each other.
Yep.
Great friends.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least I think so.
I think so too. I mean,
So what's it like? Like, what's a day to day look like working for a top 5 football program?
well, right now we're in the off season, so days are kind of different than they were. But I can give you the juicy in season day in the life if
Please.
you want that, right?
Please.
Mornings usually start around, or at least for me, like I usually try to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. We come to the stadium around 6:30. We meet with our team, our equipment team, talk about practice, what we're gonna do. Then we go outside, we set up practice, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty much it. And then
Going from there.
get going from there. I mean, after that, I got class, I got fraternity matters sometimes that I got to do, schoolwork, and just trying to cram that all in before I go to bed at night.
Why'd you want to work for the team?
My main goal with my career is to be a sports agent. And I thought, what no better job to kind of put myself in a position than equipment, right? Like I get these connections with the players, the staff, and I love football. I love the Ducks.
Yeah. So you want to be a sports agent.
Yeah.
You know, being around these kind of players in this environment is great for that. Like you
Mhm.
said, what have you learned about the profession and what have you learned that it takes to be successful?
Honestly, just to be a successful sports agent, from what I see, is just player relationships, like having a good relationship with the player. A lot of these guys have agents that they know and they know very well. And I thought, being an equipment manager, getting to know these guys more on a personal level could help me in the future with that. And also just NIL, like a lot of these guys are getting paid tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And just being around them and just having them as a resource to hopefully get to that next level of my career is just second to none.
Yeah. I mean, to be a sports agent, right? You have to network, you have to connect. And arguably most important, you have to be likable.
Yeah.
You're a super likable person. Like
Oh,
everyone that I know,
Stop.
everyone that I know likes you, right?
Stop
Like your
it.
energy is like big and fun and friendly.
I appreciate it.
Like, do you think you've always kind of gave that energy off or do you think you kind of developed into that?
I guess it kind of just goes back to being from Hawaii, just a different culture. I remember growing up, one of my mom's coworkers started at a new school where I was there. And I introduced myself to her. I showed her around campus and stuff. And I remember the end of the day, I went home and my mom was like, this girl, she said, you're like Mr. Aloha, which is like just happy, jolly guy around campus. So I guess that was kind of something I naturally grew up with, I'd say, just being a happy guy, someone people can rely on, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Do you think that comes out in your cooking?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I love cooking, I said it already, but I love making people happy with food. I mean, it's just nice to prepare something by myself and sharing it with the people I love and just everybody else and seeing them put a smile on their face.
Go-to meal.
To cook or to eat?
Both.
Both. Ooh. To cook, I'd probably say I like a lot of Asian food. So probably like a good stir fry, chicken stir fry with some vegetables. Not frozen vegetables though. Like I like to prep everything by myself and cut it all up. And to eat, there's this, oh, that's a good question. There's this place back home called Big Island Grill. They do this thing called a super loco moco.
Ooh.
So it's a bed of rice and you can pick 3 different meats. So I'll pick a hamburger patty, some chicken katsu, which is just some fried chicken, and spam. Topped with two eggs of your choice. I like sunny side up and then smothered in gravy. That's my favorite.
Ooh, that sounds so good.
It's awesome.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
So working for the football team,
Okay.
you're around the players all the time. Like we were just talking about how one of them was texting you earlier.
Yeah.
What do you think most people get wrong about what they're actually like? Because I mean, they're humans, they're like people, but like we also kind of idolize them because we only get to see them on the TV
field,
screen or right in front of us playing on the field. Like, what are they actually like? What do you think people get wrong about them?
That's a good question, honestly. Like a lot of these guys, like they're human, you know, they're like you and me. They're people. They have feelings, they have emotions. They're more than just what we see on Saturday and in the media, you know. One of the biggest misconceptions I probably hear a lot from football players is like they're lazy, they're not smart, like in the classroom. And yeah, those are probably like the 2 biggest ones.
Yeah.
And it's actually crazy that like people like not just say that, but just think that because a lot of the guys here are honor roll students. Like a lot of these guys were on the dean's list, 4.0 GPAs. Like these guys are smart.
You don't see that side of them.
But I do.
Yeah, but we don't.
You guys, yeah. I mean, the outside doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, the outside only sees what, 15, 60 minutes on Saturday and just media interviews, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's your favorite part about being on the sideline during the games? I mean, like the energy is crazy.
The energy is probably like the best. Like, I remember when we played Ohio State, you were there, right?
Of course I was there.
The last play when Will Howard was in the pocket, dropped back, saw the time going down. And then when he slid and then just saw zeros on the clock, I just see our whole sideline just rushes the field. I look up, the student section's already coming down to rush the field. I had some like call boards I was doing for that game. I threw it in the air. I was excited. Just the energy is electric.
Yeah.
It was electric.
So fun. Like, I mean, just like it's a once in a lifetime thing too.
Yeah.
Like
obviously, yeah.
Being on the sideline for the Oregon football team.
Yeah.
#1 team in the country.
Yeah.
Unfortunate loss. But next season.
Are
we looking? We're going to be good next season?
I got confidence in the guys.
You got confidence in the guys?
Yeah.
Good.
I
can't give anything away, but unofficially, you got confidence.
I got confidence in the guys.
Okay.
I love them all.
Love it. So you came from far away.
Yep.
Came from Hawaii. And Oregon, Eugene, Oregon is very different from the big island of Hawaii.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you know, what was the hardest part in kind of adjusting?
Obviously the weather.
Really?
Right? I mean, I spent a lot of my youth traveling to different places, whether it was for sports, family matters, vacation. So I didn't have a hard time adjusting being away from home in a way. But the hard part for me was just the weather because like back home, it's like high 70s to low 90s every day, all 12 months of the year.
365.
Yeah, 365 days. And then you come here and it's just sunny in the summer. And we're just very unfortunate that we don't really catch any of that until early March, I would say.
Yeah.
And yeah, the weather is probably just the biggest adjusting point for me.
Yeah. Is there anything you wish you would have done differently? Like kind of looking back on the whole process of, you know, starting college, leaving home.
Honestly, probably not getting a single my freshman year. I had a single in GSH, which was nice for the, I guess, privacy and just having my own space to myself. But I kind of wish I had a roommate. I'm glad I met Aiden because he kind of brought me out of my little cocoon and brought me out to Rush. And that kind of just opened up my social life a lot more. but I kind of wish I did that sooner.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, not being afraid to kind of embrace
Yeah.
the roommate, the
Mhm.
community aspect of
Yeah,
college. Because
yeah.
I mean, that's what it's for
Yeah.
too. And that's what makes it so much more fun. Like
Yeah.
being in a fraternity, like being around people all the
Mhm.
time, being in clubs is the best.
Yeah.
Being on the football team, having that community, right? Like I'm sure it's so much fun.
It's awesome. One of my favorite memories of just community within the program is when Dylan Gabriel came here. Shout out to him. He's an awesome dude. I would say we share similar just vibe when it comes to just opening up, like being a friendly face for people. And he opened up his home for me and the other equipment guys, and he held a fight night at his house, which was just really awesome. And
Just watching UFC, not actual
Yeah,
fighting.
not fight. Yeah, UFC. But he just had a lot of guys over, got a lot of food, and it was just nice to see that QB1 cares about everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You say that too, and that gives me like flashbacks to the Josh Allen to Slick Rick in the mailroom. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like that's so cool. And
Yeah.
that's awesome to see like how integrated the
Yeah.
program is, like how close everybody is.
Mhm.
And that's, I mean, so much fucking fun. So go ahead.
Well, I would say probably just one of the things about that. I know Coach Lanning says a lot in interviews. It's like to build a successful program, it starts with everybody, right? And just us in the equipment room, the janitors that are cleaning the locker room, just everybody got to just be not perfect because nobody's perfect, but damn near close to perfect, you know?
Yeah. Do you think being on the football team helped you develop work ethic? I mean, because you have to wake up so early and you do have to do kind of grunt work here and there.
I would say doing that kind of helped me build a schedule, you know? I never really time blocked really.
Yeah.
Google Calendar.
Yeah.
Perfect tool.
Yep.
I remember in the fall, I came to you and some advice on losing weight, and doing this job kind of just was hard to do that. And I was kind of forced to time block my schedule and put things in that fits, not perfectly, but fits to what I can do. So yeah.
Kind of going back to Hawaii and how you made that big transition. And you kind of talked about, you being this big, friendly, fun guy is partially just because of where you're from. What's one piece of Hawaiian culture that you wish everybody or more people knew?
I don't know if it's Hawaiian culture, but a lot of people do back home that I wish people did here is say thank you.
Yeah.
Say thank you, maybe.
Be friendlier.
Be friendlier. I mean, I don't want to say be happy, but
Do you think it's a college thing or an Oregon thing?
I don't know. Might be just a mainland thing.
I grew up in the Bay Area, but my
Okay.
family's from Indiana.
Yep.
And we joke about everyone in Indiana is way nicer. Like just because like the lifestyle is
Mhm.
slow. Like people are not in a rush.
Yeah.
It's all like old grandmas like, oh my gosh, sweetie. Like, oh no, you're good. You're good, sweetie. That puts like the hustle and bustle of like San
Yeah.
Francisco. So I do think, part of it's just like being
Oregon,
somewhere where
maybe. I don't know.
I think it's college.
College, yeah. Could be college. I mean, yeah.
I think just because there's so much happening.
Mhm.
Like there's so much stimulus. No one's like laid back and relaxed on the
Yeah.
beach.
Yeah.
It's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
So your older brother, you have two younger brothers.
2 younger brothers.
How big's your extended family?
What was that?
How big's your extended family?
Huge.
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 How huge?
A lot of cousins, a lot of uncles, a lot of aunties, a lot of grand uncles, grand aunties, a lot. I wouldn't be able to count everybody, just a lot of them.
How has family shaped you kind of into who you are?
Kind of just, it's everything to me, you know? Like, I try to be a very family oriented, family centered guy. Family is probably my number one priority a lot. Like, it's just, yeah. And then it kind of just goes back to what we were talking about community is just having just that strong bond with my family is everything, you know?
Yeah. Someone you can turn to in hard times and celebrate with in good times. And how do you approach, being a good role model for your younger brothers? Because I can tell you as an older brother myself, like that's definitely a big aspect is making sure that I'm being a good example.
Yeah.
Or like being someone he can talk to. Right. How do you go about that?
It's funny you say this actually. My brothers are just starting up football right now. And my little brother is doing basketball. One's doing football, one's doing basketball. And my dad called me the other day and he was like, Brayden, these kids don't know. These kids don't know how to do it. These kids don't know what the grind is like.
Yep.
You know, I remember when you were back in high school, you were doing all these drills and all these times on your free time. These kids don't do shit. They're not doing anything extra. So I remember that he called me, and then after that, I called my brothers and I was like, hey, like, you know, we moved from Hawaii to California for opportunity, right? Take advantage of it. I guess kind of going back to the question, I'm kind of going off course, but just being someone like confident for them and being the kind of guy that they can come to no matter what.
Yeah.
Open arms, you know?
Yeah.
But give them tough love.
Oh, for sure.
Tough love.
No, my brother's not gonna like this. I don't think he's listening to this, but Jake. My dad and myself definitely give him shit sometimes, but he's been great recently.
Yeah.
Like he's on his grind. Like for the last like freshman year, he was like, I want to play football, and he was like, wasn't really working towards it.
Yeah.
And then like the last like 6 months, like he's really put in the work, and it's really cool to see him. Like, dude, like you were like a twig, and now you're like 190 all muscle, and you can like bench more than me. Like, isn't that exciting? And like, it's so hard to get them to listen though.
No, they don't. They never do.
They never really. I told my brother because I was like wanted to play football, but like have to be strong to play football.
Right.
I was like, okay, whenever you can out squat me or out bench me, I'll give you $300. I told him now he can, but I haven't challenged it. But we haven't tested. I know he can, but we haven't tested it
Don't
yet.
test it.
I've been avoiding it. So I made that bet with him freshman year. I'm 4 years older, so I made
Yeah.
that bet with him freshman year, and I had him easily. And then he wasn't doing anything, so I was like, dude, like I was trying to give him motivation to do it.
Yeah.
And then the last time we tested it was winter break.
Hmm.
We were like, he was like, let's squat 225. I was like, I've literally, I think this is the first time I've ever done. It's just because like I didn't want to, and like he repped it out pretty easily, and then I did it.
Oh, geez.
Like now, like putting the struggle away.
yeah.
And he was like, all right, like we'll save that for now. Like I got practice tomorrow. And I was like, oof, thank God.
Little bailout.
I've got him like we're tied on bench now. And he hit 285 for like 3 on squat, and I know I can't do that. So I'm playing a void right now, so I
Yeah.
don't owe him a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, being an older brother is so much fun. I don't know. Are you close with your dad?
So I have a stepdad, right? He's my stepdad, but he took me in from the start. He was there when I was early as I can remember. And he's kind of my dad, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was it like, kind of growing up? I mean, I think it's a different dynamic,
Right.
like being the older sibling
yeah.
of like, you're also the parents also kind of figuring it out at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, how was like growing up with your dad? Was that a smooth relationship, or I'm just gonna call him your dad, right?
Yeah.
But like,
do it,
was
yeah.
it a smooth relationship? Was it bumpy at times?
Oh, no, not at all. We bumped heads all the time.
Yeah.
We bumped heads all the time. There's a lot of like, you don't know me.
Yeah.
You're not my dad. Like things like that. But like now, like it sucks now because like I see where he came from in like a dad standpoint and like obviously a stepdad standpoint, right? Because like here you are like coming into my life trying to figure out how to be like a good role model for me. Now looking back at it, he did a really good job, and I feel bad for
yelling, yeah.
for the yelling and all
For
the arguing
the
that we
classic
did.
"You're not my dad" line.
Yeah, I mean, but now I love him so much. He's awesome. He's very helpful for me, and grateful for him.
What's one lesson from him that you've taken away?
One lesson,
Yeah, or
Ooh.
saying he has, or thing he's done.
I just like do it. I don't want to be like just do it because that's like Nike, but like kind of just do it. Like growing up, he was always, we never went to the mechanic. He's an airline mechanic, so car was broken, we never went to the mechanic. He loves fishing, so whenever his boat broke, never went to the mechanic. He always wanted to do things himself, and he always kind of just took me along with him. Like a lot of the things I know about cars is from him teaching me, and yeah,
That's awesome.
just do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Figure it out along the way.
Figure it out. Got YouTube.
Yeah. Like,
All right. What is? There's actually a good one. He said we were working on our farm one day. I was pulling weeds, and I was being a little girl. I was like, oh, my hands are getting dirty. My shoes are dirty. Like I don't want to do this shit anymore. He was like, Brayden, there's a reason why God made soap and water. And I was like, fuck.
I was like, damn it, you got me.
You got me there.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's awesome. I mean, how was it growing up on a farm? So tell people what kind of farm you got.
So I don't want to say it's like a farm. It's probably like a farm. We consider it a farm. We have
Not a traditional farm.
traditional like southern or whatever farm, right? Back home, so we have a 7.5 acre lot. We have avocado trees, mangoes, papayas, citrus trees, and squash. We have pigs, goats. We have a cow. We did
Have
have
a cow.
chickens. We have a cow, one cow. Dogs. Did I say goats?
Yes.
Goats. Yeah, and yeah, that's kind of the farm we have.
Did your grandparents start that?
So we did. My grandparents, just to talk about them for a sec, they were immigrants from the Philippines.
Wow.
So when Hawaii was just a big sugarcane plantation, my grandpa's grandpa came from the Philippines, started a family here, and he moved back to the Philippines, brought my great grandmother over, his daughter, and then they started their family, and that's kind of how we came to Hawaii. Yeah. I mean, they didn't really start it, but they do run it a lot. Like they do a lot of the hard work.
Yeah.
And it kind of just shows like how they grew up like on a plantation,
Yeah.
showing them like hard work and farm stuff,
All right.
All right.
I want to transition a little bit
Oh,
into kind of a more sensitive topic, which
Right.
is kind of weight
okay.
and physical fitness.
Yeah.
And I knew you played football and played a lot of sports, played basketball. I didn't know you were such a basketball fan, dude.
Dude, that was probably my favorite sport.
Same.
When I started high school, I was kind of falling out of love with football. That makes sense. Like I played a lot as a child in like little league and whatever, but growing up, I kind of fell out of that and fell more in love with basketball. And then I kind of just switched my whole mentality to basketball.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Big center mentality.
Big center mentality.
Dude, I can just see you. I can just imagine you bodying kids.
It's crazy. That's the shittiest part about being a bigger dude is like, obviously, like you're a bigger dude, so they're gonna put you at center. They're not gonna put you at guard, obviously.
Yeah.
But then when I go to like Vegas to play in a tournament, and I'm going up against these freaking
Dude,
6'7", 6'8" dudes,
Dude.
I'm like,
I have a video because I was in those same tournaments.
okay,
I have a video of me. I pump fake this kid, right? Bam. He goes flying. Dude dribble, like 13-foot floater. 6'7", seventh grader comes out of nowhere from 6th, 7th New Zealand team, like the best 10 New Zealand basketball players in the world. Just like,
yeah,
just slaps the shit out of the ball. Like
it's
those
it's
tournaments, we
stupid.
had no right to be at those tournaments. I don't know why I was there. We lost every game by 30. Like, but
It's the experience.
oh, dude, it's humbling. Makes you like lock in for
Yeah,
sure.
It makes you lock in, but it's also it's just fun.
Oh, Vegas is awesome. I can't wait to
Vegas
go
is
back.
awesome,
Can't wait to go back when we're 21 and
Oh.
have a good time.
Soon.
Yeah, soon. So back to physical fitness.
Yes.
What are some of the biggest obstacles you face when it comes to kind of physical fitness in general, and then also weight loss?
I'll probably say for like weight loss, it's a lot about food. Like I love cooking. Said
Yep.
that in the beginning, and it's kind of just hard to maintain like a healthy eating like habit. I guess like eating healthy because I love food. I love trying a lot of foods. Like I'm the type of guy to like go to a restaurant and order like 2-3 different things because I want to try it all.
Yeah.
But then it's just I try it, and then if I like it a lot, I'll just eat everything. Because I think the gym and like working out, I want to say I'm decent at. Like I feel like I can go to the gym and get a good workout in. It's just what's hard for me is just loving food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems to me too, like, I mean, if you don't mind me adding on, just like as an observer,
Yeah.
being around you a lot is like, it seems like it's the impulse things that get you. Of like, you're good about going to the gym and you're a great cook. So like making good food isn't an issue for you,
Yeah.
but it's like the 2 a.m. McDonald's order or the Dave's before we go over to our buddy's house
Yep,
last night.
Yep.
It seems like that's kind of what gets you.
It's also hard too because it's just like fast food is just so accessible.
Yeah.
You know,
It's fast.
It's fast. It's there. Like you're hungry. You don't want to cook. That was probably the hardest part in the fall when I remember I came to you and I was like, hey, like I want to lose weight for this wedding that I'm going to. It didn't work, but it's just like I tried. Like I did my workouts. I was consistent with the gym. It's just like I'll be at work from like 6 to noon. I have class from noon to 4. At the time, I was pledge educator of our fraternity. So I had fraternity obligations from like 4 to 6. And by that time, I ate so little, but it was so hard to just get something healthy. And it's easy to go to like McDonald's and get me a big meal that will fill me up for $10, $15,
And with DoorDash, it's so
DoorDash too.
easy.
It's so easy. Yeah.
Yeah. I think with your case, it was like two things. I think one was just you have so many responsibilities, especially then had even more, where it's just really difficult to prioritize that,
Yeah.
right? When I had to wake up at 5 a.m. for this,
Mhm.
and then you also had to be, the pledge educator,
Yeah.
and then you also had to do your school. And like, it's just really hard to find time for it.
Extremely.
And then I think another aspect and like a mentality to keep in mind is a Tony Robbins quote, which I like a lot, which is most people overestimate what they can achieve in 1 year and underestimate what they can achieve in a decade. Right. So just understanding like, this first 5 months, you didn't reach your goal.
Yeah.
But knowing like, in 3 years, I'm going to be in perfect shape. Or in 5 years, I'm going to be in great shape, whatever that is. And like not using that as an excuse to like order McDonald's,
Yeah.
but using that as a like hope
Hope,
and like
motivation.
not giving up
Yeah.
and not being like, oh, I didn't get it in 4 months. It's over. Like that was my only chance.
Yeah. Well, that's probably like the hard part too is I feel like every time I try to do some sort of weight loss or some sort of physical fitness activity, I always put a strict timeline on myself. And I think that overwhelms me a lot. Example, I wanted to lose 40 pounds in 4.5, 5 months,
Which is really hard.
which is really hard. Not just really hard, it's just, yeah, it was just extremely hard. And
Yeah.
just having that pressure kind of just probably put more on my mental health than I probably should too, because just like you're thinking a lot more about this, right? Like I made a commitment with you. Like we have a signed contract I have on my wall, right?
Mhm. You kind of set it up where it's like, I'm either going to fail.
Yeah.
Like there's an option to fail.
Yeah. It's like fail, do it or I fail, and failed.
Yeah. Well, you have to remember too, it's like, I have a part about this in my book where I talked about, for me, my journey, like getting in the gym. Like I go to the gym 4 or 5 days every week. And I've been doing so for like a year and a half. Every year I was like, this is my new thing.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to get in the gym. And so like 1 year it was like a New Year's resolution and I gave up after a week. And then 1 year it was, I wanted to make JV basketball and I knew I had to get stronger. So I got a personal trainer. We had a whole program and I gave up after 2 weeks. And there's one where summertime over COVID, I wanted to run. So I ran every single day before school or every single day. It was just during the summer.
Yeah.
And then school started and I stopped running because I had to go to school and I didn't feel like running at 6 a.m.
Right.
And just like I talk about all these different times that I failed to do it. And all around the theme of like, the goal isn't to run. That summer went great. I ran 100 miles, right? Or like 100 something miles,
Okay.
right? But it was over the course of a summer,
Yeah.
right? But the goal isn't to run 100 miles and get the check mark that I succeeded. The goal was to get in shape for the rest of my life, right? And to like have a sustainable habit so that when I'm 80, I can walk and like
Yeah.
operate and feel
Right.
good and make it day. And I think that's part of the mentality you have to have too is like, hey, like I'm going for long jet. Like this isn't like if you had lost your 40 pounds, right?
Right.
You don't get to stop.
No.
You have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I have to imagine too, like if you had lost those 40 pounds, you would have had to been, especially with everything you're doing, it would have had to been so extreme and exhausting. You would not have been able to keep that up.
I probably would have went crazy.
You would not have been able, to keep that up for another 80 years.
No, I probably wouldn't.
So I think finding a system and a structure that is sustainable is going to be big. I'm excited. I mean, I still want to help you do it. Like I still think it's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
Definitely going to happen.
It's gonna happen. We're gonna get.
And you have more free time now,
Yeah,
which is
definitely.
helpful.
Oh, I think it would be better too, like opening it up now with the free time I have and kind of going into next fall when I do have season. It'll just be easier to get used to it because I've been doing it for this X amount of time.
Yeah, having more of a game plan going in.
Yeah.
For you, being a little overweight, is it more of an inconvenience or is it more of like a self-consciousness that really impacts you?
Both, maybe. I don't know. I always felt comfortable being like the big guy, big happy dude people can go to. And then I think like just recently it started to like hit me like, I still want to be that guy, but I just don't want to be like big anymore. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to like have a little like big guy energy,
Yeah.
not big guy
Not big guy physically. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the best shape you've ever been in?
Best shape I've ever been in?
Yeah.
Probably COVID.
Really?
Honestly. Yeah. COVID. During COVID, I was training a lot with my baseball coach and his son at the time, a lot. We went to this personal trainer that just started up in the Big Island. We went 2 days a week, Tuesday, Thursdays, we went Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We had a skill position training, we had cardio, and Saturdays we'd go to the beach and we would like run. Oh, excuse me. We'd run like a mile and then we'd do like footwork drills in the sand. And that was probably like the best shape I ever been. Like I was squatting 450 plus pounds. I was benching around 300 pounds, deadlifting around 500 pounds.
1,000 club.
Yeah,
Easily.
I was 1,000 club. It was great. And then I just all went away when I tore my ACL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you try it twice?
I tore it once. Or the technical thing that the doctor said was I partially tore it the first time and I just wiped it out the second time.
And how long were you out?
I didn't play my senior year, anything my senior year, which sucked too because I transferred to a new school to play football, basketball, baseball my senior year. And yeah,
And do you think that's kind of where it all started?
just like with weight.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I believe so. I mean, when that happened, my community at the time were the guys I played sports with, right? And when I stopped playing sports, I just kind of lost them as friends, which sucked because I I'd go to PT in the morning and then I'll come to school and I'll go to practice with the basketball guys and I'll just be like, I can't do anything. I'll stand on the side and I just couldn't do it. It just hurt too much to be there for 2.5 hours, just standing on the side. So yeah, I'll probably say that's definitely where it started and kind of just became comfortable not doing like physical activity for a long amount of time. I'll probably say I haven't been in the gym when I tore my ACL for probably about 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And that's kind of just snowball effect,
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
totally get that.
Yeah.
I haven't had anywhere near that serious of an injury, but I did have my run where I had like back-to-back little ones.
Yeah.
Like I just like, it was stupid wrist or ankle stuff, which just made it hard.
I remember.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
dumbass injuries,
Yeah.
both from flag football.
Intramural flag football.
I've had 2 serious injuries in my life, both of which have been from intramural flag football, which is, I've gotten hurt more from flag football than tackle football, which is insane.
That's funny.
I made it. Hey, made it through last season though.
There you go. You did.
Unscathed. Got
You
tomorrow.
did.
Just gotta make it through tomorrow.
Hey, tomorrow, man. I need that t-shirt.
We need that t-shirt. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Fucking dodgeball, dude.
Dodgeball.
Our dodgeball team lost in the co-ed championships. And
the
then 2 hours
men's.
later, lost in the men's championships in overtime.
Yeah. Not.
And we lost in the championships last year. So what I'm hearing is next year's our year.
Maybe. I hope
Maybe.
so.
You're-
I hope so. Put me on that team. I mean,
You're gonna be you were on the team, bro.
I were on the team.
You've been
but
on the team.
I've been on the
You're
team.
taking Drew's spot.
Yeah. I thought you guys were going to win when you guys beat the.
We beat the 2
Champions-
best teams, dude.
Yep.
Ran into we were there for 3.5 hours, but we were so
Yep.
tired.
Yep. That was a fun night activity, huh?
It is fun. Like I mean, obviously it sucks because like you want to win just because you're
Yeah.
competitive, but like spending 4 hours on a Wednesday night playing dodgeball is never gonna happen again. I'm never gonna do that again. Right? Which is just a hilarious life experience of like, yeah, I called talking to my mom. She's like, "What'd you do this week?" Well, I played dodgeball for 4 hours on Wednesday. It's like so fun, like such a college thing,
Yeah.
but like totally worth it. Would you consider yourself an extrovert or an introvert?
Introvert.
Okay.
Introvert. I don't. I mean, I like going out. I like hanging out with people, but I'm kind of just like, just a little by myself. Like I don't mind being alone. I don't mind just staying in my room.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I have friends like you, Chesky, Cam, Xander, Meek, kind of just not force me to go out, but kind of just like
Encourage.
nudge me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like we're on the way over, you're like, hey, like you should come to the mixer tonight. I'm like, no. And then like 5 minutes later, you just bring it up again. You're like, come on, like you should
Come
come,
on,
you
yeah.
should come. And I'll probably end up going, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're able to turn it on though.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you're a little bit of an ambivert.
Yeah. Is that a mix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like introverted at heart, but like you have the skills.
Yeah. I feel like I can be a good social butterfly at times. Kind of just also depends with the crowd, I guess. I don't know. Like I'm not the type of guy to, at least I don't think so. I'm not the type of guy to walk into a room of people that I never met before or barely know and just like, hey, like, how's everybody doing? Like, are you good? Tell me about yourself, blah, blah, blah. Like, I wouldn't say I'm that type of guy.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to those situations. But if it's like with people I know,
Dude, you're the funniest.
I feel like I just turn it on, you know?
Yeah. No, I totally see that. Because I think I'm the opposite of like, I think you're way funnier when you're like when we're like with our group, I think you're way funnier. Because like but you're comfortable, right? And like
Yeah.
you're just on.
Yeah.
And I think I'm able to like go up to strangers and stuff. But I
Yeah.
think you're really good at that. You always
Thank you.
make us laugh
I try to.
for better or worse.
Sometimes more for worse, but
More for worse.
we'll see. Yeah.
So last 45 minutes, I've been shooting questions at you.
Yeah.
You know, is there anything about me or any questions you have in general that you want to talk about?
For you, dude.
Or just things in general to talk about?
For you, dude, I mean, I don't want to be the guy to glaze a little bit, but like you've been killing it, man. You have your book, you're starting a podcast, you do your presentations about networking. I've been to probably like 3-4 of them. And it's just like you're doing really good. Like my question for you is just like, what made you wanna like do all of this? Cause like obviously like last year living in the fraternity house, knowing you, at least from what I seen, like you weren't like, maybe you were planning on writing your book or maybe you were planning on starting a podcast, but this year everything kind of just went into full effect with just everything coming out.
Yep.
And like your TikTok, your Instagram, your YouTube shorts, you see that shit everywhere.
Dude, the bed one did pretty solid.
You really?
It's so funny. Poor Cam, bro. It was 11:45 at night and I come knocking on Cam's door. Cam, I need to make a TikTok. Molly was over too. And I'm like, Cam, like, don't worry about it. Cam, 5 minutes. Come here.
It was so, I remember I saw your video and then I saw like your, like there was the alarm, right? And then I saw you like look at your phone. I was like, 12 o'clock? What the heck?
Yeah, dude. The best part about that too was I missed my class the next morning because I set my alarm for the wrong time.
Oh boy.
I set my alarm for PM instead of AM. And I missed my class after doing that whole fucking bit. But to answer your question, so 2 parts.
Okay.
First part about the like, it didn't seem like I was doing as much last year as I would say I absolutely was. This was just a year that it all kind of came to the fruition.
Yeah.
Right. So like, for example, from 10:30 to midnight, I would be writing my book.
Okay.
It's like, if you didn't see me, I was probably writing my book. And, the TikTok stuff, like I was doing it, but like just not as frequently. And I was kind of working it out. And the coaching, I was building the business still. March is actually when I started the coaching stuff. I just didn't actually like come into effect until fall.
Yeah.
And so that was a long process, but like, this has kind of just been a great time where it's all kind of coming together. And in terms of why, and I love that you asked that because KJ literally asked me that yesterday, is for me, it kind of all stemmed from, I really wanted to change in so many ways. I really wanted to be in better shape. I really wanted to be more confident. I really wanted to have more emotional intelligence. I really wanted to make more friends and talk to more girls and all these different things involving change. And I couldn't do it. Like for whatever reason, I was just terrified of the world in a lot of ways and kind of stuck to my bubble. And like, dude, when COVID hit, best time of my life.
Yeah.
I loved it, dude. I got to stay inside. I got to play Fortnite. I didn't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah, I agree.
And so like that whole, like the change, which I really, really wanted, I just couldn't get there / was like afraid to get there.
Yeah.
And then for me, it was kind of this moment where all these things came together of, I wanted to change. I'd had enough. I'm uber competitive. And I'm around so many role models, especially my parents, that just crush it. And it kind of got to the point of like, okay, I can do this. Like, let's put my head down. Let's make this happen. And then it just turned into like, I just really enjoy this. And like, it fucking sucked. Like, I would do experiments. I would do dumb shit. I would embarrass myself all the time. TikTok, like, the TikToks are embarrassing, but like, I still do it.
Yeah.
And so like, I would like go up to strangers and like ask them for their snap. And I didn't even know who they were, but I was just trying to build confidence. Like, I was doing anything to just try and change in all these different ways. I'd go to the gym at 6 a.m. for no reason. Right. And like, then never go again. Like, it's just been kind of, I have this foundation of like curiosity and competitiveness,
Uh-huh.
and kind of all pointed in this direction of how can I change,
Yeah.
and good ways for the better.
Yeah.
And then it kind of turned into like, I want to share that with others of like, I know there's other Nicks out there that were, younger Nicks out there. And I feel like I'm still learning every day and getting better at it. And I think change is so important. Everyone wants to change.
Right.
I want to change.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to change. So just trying to like empower people to change however they want, right? Like, I'm not going to tell people how to change.
Yeah.
Like, you do you,
Right.
but like, I want to help people whatever they want, like reach that goal.
I think, yeah. Like what you're saying, like last year when you're doing all this like grinding and putting your head down and doing that work, it was just awesome. Like just, I don't know. Like I get very happy when my friends are succeeding in what they want to do.
I appreciate that. That's
Yeah.
a great quality to have.
It's
Like, no, like seriously, like
yeah.
so many, like, it's so easy to see other people like do really well and then get jealous.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's an awesome quality that you have of like seeing other people succeed and being like happy for them. Cause that really shows that you're comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like being a good friend. And I don't know,
Being a
like
great human.
like with you, like I'm happy for you with all this stuff you're doing. Cause like, I
Thank you.
know like you want to do this like later. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember, I think you told me one time you wanted to do like public speaking.
Yeah. Keynote speaking.
Keynote speaking. That's what
Yep.
it was. And just like you're building your foundation to get to that. And just
At coming spring term.
really
Keynote speaking.
Okay,
Yeah. On the way.
yeah, it's just awesome, man.
Thank you, man.
And just being a part of this too, just being a part of your podcast, just like seeing you do episode 1, just like watching it, just like, damn, like there goes Nick,
But like, the only reason this is even possible is because I know I have so many friends and so many people in the community that like support me.
Yeah.
Right. Like the part of that, the end of my book is like just acknowledgements. And like the last sentence is just like, thank you to all my community. Like, I know you're all going to embrace this with open arms and like make the journey sweeter.
That's
And like,
awesome.
that's sincerely of like, if I didn't think I had so many friends that were going to like, say like, Nick, this is great. Or like, Nick, not my thing, but like, keep going. I'm glad you're doing. Right. And not like belittle me for it. I would probably never have started.
Yeah.
Not that other people's opinions matter, because they shouldn't,
They don't.
but
They
they do.
But they do.
But they affect you.
They don't matter when it comes to like doing what you want to do, but I'll say it does affect you from time to time.
They don't matter, but it affects how hard or easy the journey is going to be.
Yeah.
And it makes all this is a lot easier with everyone's support. And yeah, I was joking with my brother the other day. I was like, dude, like, I need to get as successful as I can as quick as possible, so I can get everyone else successful and as quick as possible. And like, that's totally my mentality of like, I love all this stuff and I enjoy it. And like, my goal is like that everyone else, and you and Chesky and Kaden and Cam and Drew, and like everyone figures out like what your passion is. And like, I want to see everyone like fucking dominate. Like, I want to see you be like the greatest sports agent. And then I want to call you and be like, dude, I want to come to the game. Can I come? And you're like, yeah, dude, get here right now. And you're like, Nick, dude, I want to meet so-and-so. Can you connect me with them? Yeah, dude. I'll shoot you a text right now.
Yeah.
Dude, we're flying to Spain tomorrow. You coming? Of course I'm coming.
That's what I hope for all of us one day, is just success and happiness,
And just joy.
Enjoy our life.
And
Stories. Yeah. I got another question for you, if you don't mind.
Don't mind at all.
Kind of a little boomerang effect.
Yeah.
What made you, Nick Batchelder, confident guy, just hardworking, just what made you?
What made me?
Yeah.
3 things. A lot of reading.
Yeah.
I read 20, 30 self-help books a year.
Yeah.
A lot of reading.
Okay.
And just like learning what works, what doesn't. Like, for example, today before we got here, I was literally reading till we got here. Like before you came in, like I had to set up cameras and stuff, but like I was reading the 5 love languages book,
Okay.
and I was like, just because like just taking in knowledge and like just learning. Second has just been like I've just been surrounded with a lot of mentors. So like a lot of me and whatever goals that I want to achieve, I just go, who does it really well? And I'm going to cling to that person. So like when I was trying to make more friends, I would hang out with my friends that had most friends,
Yeah.
right? Or if I was trying to get in the gym, I'd hang out with my friends that went to the gym. And then third was just experimentation and not being afraid to fail. Like I told you earlier, I would just do all that dumb shit because I would read things and my mentors would tell me things or I would think of things and I would go, okay, let's go see what works and what doesn't. And a third of it didn't work, a third of it worked, right? And a third of it, I was like, oh, this works even better than I thought it would, right?
Right.
And it was just continuing to do that and just staying curious. And then that's just what it turned into. Like you mentioned confidence was the first thing, right? Like my dad and my brother joke all the time about like people that meet me now have no idea what I was like.
Yeah.
Like I was, not,
Really?
dude, I loved COVID. I told you that, dude. I didn't talk
Love
to any,
COVID.
I loved COVID. I was so shy. I didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I remember, I'm thinking back to like junior year when COVID hit, right? Like just to give you a sense of like kind of where I was at was like when I kind of first started this change mentality of like, dude, I need to get better.
Yeah.
The first thing was like, I need to talk to more people. I need to be more confident and outgoing. And I remember I was in class and it was like our classes were half full. So one of my school went back really early, but like half the school went one day and half the school went the other day.
Okay.
And so I'm in class, like we're doing like a group activity, we're talking to people. And this girl in the group next to me had these like cool yellow shoes. And I went over and I was like, so and so, like, I love your, like, those shoes are awesome. She was like, oh, thank you so much. I talked to her for like 10 seconds. And I was like, have a great rest of your day. And she was like, you too. And I remember I got in the car that day and I go, Dad, I fucking did it. He goes, what did you do? I go, dude, I talked to someone for like 20 seconds. I had a great conversation and I talked to a girl. And I was like, I was so happy. I was like, that's where I was at, like
Yeah.
junior year of high school.
Okay.
And so like, I really wasn't like the person I am now. And I'm not the person I'm going to be in 5 years as the person I am. So, dude, and then like, it's just more fun. Like, you feel more fulfilled when you earn it,
Mhm.
right? It's more fun when you earn $1 million and then when you win the lottery.
Yeah.
And I think life wouldn't be worth living if you didn't have to grow, right? Like, if I had everything, there's so many billionaires' kids that hate life, right? And there's so many people that are born in terrible circumstances that are successful and love life. And I was born in awesome circumstances. So like I don't even have that excuse.
Yeah.
But uh, yeah, just curiosity and continuation.
Cool. One more.
Last one.
Last one.
Hit me.
Who's your biggest role model?
My dad.
Your dad.
My dad.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I talk to him probably more than I should. I talk to him all the time. It's good when like sometimes I think I call him too much and I annoy him. Like I know I don't, but like sometimes I'll just call him all the time and be like, what do you think about this? And he'll be like, this, and that. I go, great. And I hang up. And I'll call him back later. Wait, like real quick, 5 minutes. Then I like ask him questions for like 20 minutes. And I think the biggest reason he's such a role model for me is like he's given me the perfect level of independency of like, he didn't baby me, but he also didn't force things on. Right. And like we talked about this once and he was talking about how like he was a little nervous because I didn't really come out of my shell till end of senior year.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I was a little nervous. Like you weren't going to get there before college. And like a little nervous that like maybe he'd have to start forcing some things to like
Yeah.
get me going. Right.
Uh-huh.
And he never did. And neither did my mom. And like I just kind of got to come into it. So like I got to kind of find my pace and I didn't like build any of that resentment, which was nice. I wasn't spent. I didn't yell at him because he didn't really give me a reason to yell at him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Like, give me a reason to be mad at you. Right. Yeah. And I think with both my parents too, especially, I mean, him and both my parents, like, I know I could fuck up brutally. Like, I don't, as far as my mind could go, and I could call him.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, we're good. We're going to figure this out. And it's really, really comforting feeling. And it's a really big privilege that I have to know that no matter what happens, like I have that safety net, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of my that helps me with like the business, right? Or the coaching
Uh-huh.
or the podcasting or the book, right? Is like I could say no to my job and then go pursue that for 2 years. And if it failed brutally, I'd be okay. Because I know like I could go talk to them, be like, you can live at home for 3 months, go get a job here and then get back on your feet. Right. And I don't have to worry about like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
If it don't work out right away after college, right? Or things like that.
Uh-huh.
Or I'm fucked if, I make a mistake and I go to jail. Right. Right. So yeah, that's been
Cool, man.
beautiful and a
Awesome.
big privilege. Brayden,
Yeah.
we have a closing tradition on this podcast,
Oh, okay.
which comes directly from my favorite show, The Diary of a CEO,
Okay.
in which the last guest leaves a question for the next guest, not knowing whom they're leaving a question for.
Okay.
And if you'll bear with me,
Got it.
gotta one-hand it right
You
now.
got it.
Question that has been left for you is, who inspires you the most and why?
My grandpa, my grandfather, he is just yes, I get emotional talking about him. He's awesome. He's a superhero to me, kind of just like growing up, he was the type of guy that like everybody could go to. Like he wasn't the oldest. Sorry. He wasn't the oldest, but he was just that strong person that his siblings could go to. And that's something that I inspire to be, not just with my siblings, but just with everybody. Like I want my friends to be able to come to me if they have any problems. And he was always that type of person for his siblings. He was very supportive of my mom when she had me, because she had me. She got pregnant with me when she was in college, so she had to take a break from school. She moved back home. She lived with my grandparents, and my grandfather took a lot of care. Took care of me a lot growing up. So definitely him. He's somebody that inspires me the most, and hopefully I'm like him one day. Yeah.
Brayden, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, Nick.